Excel's default charts, I don't think they're very well done. They're not sorted, the bars are too thin for today's design standards. There is too much clutter. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make them, but mostly how to format them so that they look the best that they could and simple as possible. My name is David Nyman, and I love doing videos about the Excel stuff that hardly anyone knows and the new Excel stuff. So check out my other videos if you like this kind of thing. All right, let's get started. So if you select the data here, you can go to Insert, and then you can choose this and Column Chart. Doesn't matter which of these two you choose if you have just one bit of data, which is usually what I recommend for column charts unless you really need to have multiple ones. And you get these pre-selected options that you can do. Personally, I don't love these, so I prefer to do it manually to make it as simple as possible. To make a horizontal one, you can click on these ones down here. And then there's a couple of things that you can only do directly within the data. So sort them from highest to lowest. And I prefer to remove the $sign and declutter this up. We definitely don't need 0.00, and usually I find the $sign on every row is a bit too much clutter. Our goal is to make it as simple as possible like this. So if you select the data, you can click the number formatting and go general number formatting, and that will change it in both of these. And then if you want to sort it from highest to lowest, you select it, and then you can go to the data tab and add your filters. It's usually the way that I do it, but there are other ways to do it. And then sort from largest to smallest. Fun Excel fact, check out what happens to the lower one. Is that highest to lowest, or is that lowest to highest? This has been around in Excel as what I think is a bug for a long, long time. Next up, you want to remove the clutter. So you can actually just click on something and press the delete button like that. Let's do it for both of these. Perfect. And then we're going to add something called data labels. So if you click on the plus button, you get data labels. Personally, I tend to like to do them inside the base like that. I know the color is off, but we'll change that. The reason why I like inside the base is that they're always in line. So data labels inside base. So they're always aligned. It's much, much cleaner. So to change the colors, you could click on the text boxes with the numbers, and then here you would just change your font color like that. You could also change the color of your actual chart by clicking on that and going to color. There you go. The orange ones make it a lot easier to see the numbers, but still worth having as much contrast as possible. So you can also make those white. And then what I find what really annoys me in charts is when people have the data labels and they have the axis, there is never any point in having both of them. Almost never anyway, unless you point out one specific one that you might want to do. So delete the clutter, click on that, press delete. I see this so often that they decide to keep both of them. Next up, we want to make the bars thicker. Kind of a bit of a long way to get here, but you have to click on the bars, right click and choose Format Data Series. This pops up on the right. And then here, what I tend to do is gap width 50. 50 is an easy number to remember. It's a bit counterintuitive because rather than saying I want the bars to be thicker, you're saying I want the gap between them to be less. So yeah, a bit counterintuitive, but a super useful thing that is a little bit hidden. You can also click on there and choose the gap width. Modern design trends mean that most bar charts are with these thicker bars, so I recommend doing it. And then amounts doesn't really add anything. You can delete that clutter as well or write in a better label. Now, if you do want to present this on PowerPoint, what I like to do is I like to click once, click a second time, so only this bar is selected, and recolor it. When this ends up being the thing that I'm pointing out in the presentation, I like to do that to one or two of the bars and keep the rest as they are. One more thing. When you resize, often objects like charts get resized, but you often don't want that. So this is a very hidden trick that not many people know. Right click on multiple objects and choose size and properties if you want to, and then choose these three options are really worth knowing about. So don't move or size with cells means that as you expand it or shrink it, it doesn't do that. And then move but don't size with cells means that as you decide to move, that will move, but it will not size it like this. And then the third one, you can imagine what that does. If you don't see it, annoyingly, you don't see size and properties here, you need to right click and format chart area, and that will take you here. Then you need to click on this icon, and then you get the properties down here. You might need to expand them if you don't see them by default. I wish it was just easier to get to, because that is something that I find annoys a lot of people. And that's what I wanted to show you here. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is David Benaim, and I love talking about cool Excel features not many people know about. So check out my other videos if you like what you see. Thanks for watching.